to another broadcast of Kawaii Fox News. Today, I will be discussing the most extinct Sierra Nevada red foxes. And can foxes be tamed? I searched and searched for the most up-to-date information on how the Sierra Nevada red foxes are doing. But the most recent ones I found was from 2024 from Defenders of Wildlife. All parties, however, agree that the population of these foxes is around 18 to 40 at best. A Reddit thread that I found actually is the most up-to-date source I have found, with some residents of Sierra Nevada claiming that they sometimes spot the foxes, so the population isn't completely extinct. Allegedly. I trudged around and I have found a document from 2021 from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services outlining a recovery plan for these foxes. But as far as I can tell, the project was shut down. Same with Yosemite. Since 2023, they archived their conservation efforts and the species is still severely facing extinction. The U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife Services has been defunded and downsized, and no active statewide conservation efforts exist to my knowledge. These are one of the most endangered animals in America. Sierra Nevada red fox is facing complete extinction due to climate change, human vehicles, and human guns. And there's little hope of recovery from human-inflicted problems if humans don't step in and help. If a viewer is from California or the surrounding area in which these foxes live, the best way you can help is by petitioning your state legislators and governors to help these foxes, as well as asking the people you know to do the same. Flyers or posts asking people to contact state legislators and informing people not to shoot or otherwise harm the foxes is a very good way to help. I do want to preface that there may be conservation efforts that I am not aware of, but in my research, I have not encountered any. For the last story, can foxes be tamed? Well, for starters, don't try any of this at home. Foxes have always been labeled as undomesticatable, but is it actually possible to domesticate them? Well, fox fur farmers tried to keep foxes in captivity for their pelts, especially so they could get their hands on the silver variant of the red fox, as I have discussed in a previous broadcast. But wild foxes put in captivity would get stressed and die. A genetic study shows that any attempts to make foxes better suited for domestication was done with North American foxes, showing that Europe and Asian foxes were less suited for domestication. Attempts to domesticate foxes picked up in a Soviet Union scientific study after the fur trade declined. Farm-bred foxes were used, and the scientists didn't breed the most aggressive foxes, and instead the more quiet ones, resulting, after several generations, in domesticated foxes. These foxes crave human contact and will run up to humans for pets. So, foxes can technically be tamed and domesticated, but only foxes that were bred to be that way. If you're looking to get a pet fox, don't try to domesticate a wild one, and check with your country or state laws if it's legal to have fox as a pet. Get a domesticated one from a reputable seller.